Hello team, my name is Mahesh. Today we are looking one service which is AWS IAM. We are looking this service in depth as we are looking today. As I have uploaded one community post on the last week that I am asking all of you about the AWS services. Shall I create videos about the AWS full topics such as AWS zero to hero kind of a series that we are creating today. I'm getting I have getting one or two comments from existing subscribers. So thank you very much. Make sure you like and subscribe this channel. So I upload the videos on the every week. So let's look over the IAM service. IAM service, identity and access management. Let's look. Let's before we jumping towards the practical part of it. We are looking we are looking a core fundamental theoretical part basically. It is a short part. We are covering a large a practical video, and if I will explain the overall the IAM how the services, users, and groups and all those things are working in the environment. So IAM is identity and access management. It is a global service. So I will explain on the video itself. Root account is created by default. You shouldn't be used it or shared with anyone because it is a root account. It is a it is a highest authority kind of a account. It is a super account for the AWS environment. Users are peoples in the organization. It can be grouped or it is part of it. It can be part of a multiple groups as well. Groups can contain only users, not others group. I will explain on the IAM session how the groups and the users are will create, how the policies will assign to the user, and how the JSON policy and the custom we can create a custom policy for the custom resources and the custom Amazon resource name and all those things. Groups contains users, not other groups. That is main. And some users are belong to multiple groups as well, such as developers can be part of the part also part of a DevOps team. It is possible, but it is possible. One user can belongs to a multiple group as well. We can look into it. On the roles part, we can I on the IAM policy part, we can look in the practical way. But let's look how we can create for now. Let's look how we can create a users groups and how we can assign a permission to a particular group and how can we create users and other things in the IAM console. So let's go on the IAM. Yes, you get a console like this. We have multiple options such as user groups, users, roles, and policies. So we are creating a one user, which is IAM user. We can say it. We are creating one admin account. We are currently using a root account of AWS, which is not. We are not always using a root account. So let me call it as admin -v2. You can call you can name whatever you want for the administrator and all the other users also. So we have three options. First, we can directly add the user to a particular group. We can copy permission from the other existing user or somewhere, or we can attach direct policies, such as we are creating one group, which is create group uh, administrators. By administrators group, we can provide the administrator access to the users because we have added administrator groups, which is currently showing zero users on that group. And let's create next. We don't provide any necessary tags over here and just create. We have created admin user and assigned to a one group. We also created one group for the administrator. Look, we have a okay. So by default, the user is not added to the administrator groups and the permission. Yeah, permission is over here. So let's look. Let me check. I get a permission of administrator rights over here or not. No, we didn't get any administrative rights. So there are two types of permission. Either user can get policies and the permissions from the group, or either the user will get permissions from the inline policy. We look in depth about the inline policy, how we can assign an inline policy to a particular user. There are some users in the organization who cannot belong to any groups or services as such. So they are belong to a particular inline policy, and that inline policy will directly attach to the user. So let's go on our groups, go on administrator group that we have created and add user. We have added the administrative user, admin v2. Yeah, the administrative have now one permission of administrators. Mostly the AWS resource will identify it as a identified this by this ARN, Amazon resource name. So when we are looking in the CLI part, how we can configure the Amazon CLI or CDK. So we have configured this user. Let me shift over here. Let me create one incognito tab. So we can check the admin user get appropriate rights or not. So open the AWS account. I haven't showed the how you can get the particular like login page for this administrator user, right? So let me go on the dashboard itself. Yeah, just first I need to log into this account. So let me copy the ID which is here over here, admin hyphen v2 Amazon resource name as I suggested. I have said AWS console login. There is also option you can create a alias for it. So by the alias you can create a like such as developer one at the rate developer one at the rate test.com or developer one at the rate your organization name.com. Those kind of alias directly you can paste it on the account ID and it will able to you can able to sign into that. I have already saved admin v2. Look, it's showing we haven't set any password for the user. So let's go over here, security credentials it is, and we can enable console login access. So enable console login access so we can able to access the account. We can for like if we are using if we are creating one account for the other users in the organizations, I can keep as an auto generated password because the front like the user will create password by itself, and you can set a custom password policy for it, how many characters you need to use for the password, how many complexity levels are you use it will use there. So all those things are like you can keep on that. So I have pasted my password. uh Look, here is a button, user must change the password and then like sign in. So it's my account, I am not changing anything over there. Click on apply to manage IAM console, keep existing keep custom password at admin v2. Enable console login. Yeah, apply. We have updated the password. uh let's now try to log in it again. This is the Amazon resource name, admin v2 that we have created, and sign in. We are on the admin account. You can look over here. Let me adjust it on the left side. Yeah, this is the root account of our AWS, and this is our admin account, which is IAM user, we can say. So this is how we have created the user and a group for the admin. So let's try to let's play with some permissions over here. So let's go on admin v2. Admin doesn't belong administrator user doesn't belong to any like there is one group which is administrators are belongs. So let's me remove permission from here. I am removing this user. So the admin user didn't get any admin rights. So now I could not able to access any service, or like I'm getting error by this. So let me try one look, API error I am getting. So I don't have permission or any authorization to access this service. So let's look. Let me try to manage some IAM services. Like we have accessing the IAM from the root account, but we not able to access uh, uh, from the IAM account also, IAM account itself. So let me add like a read only or get. We can add some permissions over here. So let me go on permissions. Let me zoom it. Yeah, add permission, attach policy, and get no. I am I am read only access. I have to say. Yeah, I am read only access. This policy are already assigned by the AWS service. So like already pre-configured by the AWS services, so we can use that, or we can create our custom policies also. So not to worry about it. Uh, yeah. So we let me remove this because it we are adding the permissions on the administrative groups. Let me try to add the permissions over here. So click on add, add permission. So copy, attach directly from the user, and I am read only. I can provide read only access to this admin. Now we can check how we can able to access the IAM service or not. So we need to refresh one or two times. Yeah, we can access IAM service. But what if I am creating one user for the test? It will not it will not create any user for me because we haven't provided the access to create this perform this action basically. So here look, create user action. If we added a permission for create user action on the IAM policy itself or any group itself, so we can access from there. As we can see over here, we not able to access this service. Let me revert it back, and I will go on a user and just remove the IAM permission from here and provide the administrator rights. Let me explain throughout the document which I have created. I will share on the description itself, so you can refer this from there. So let me remove this policy. It is a group policy that we have attached. The administrative rights, and we can add the user from here. Once we add the user, the admin -v2 will get administrative rights and it can perform the actions. It is a IAM user. There could be there could be multiple environments on the organization. Environment in means there are multiple teams in the organization. We couldn't look, we need to provide a particular we need to provide at least access to the particular team member. We like if there is no need for if there is no need to admin user can access the developers console or any like a developers functionality or any developers services. So we can separate them by a particular separate the particular users from the uh, separate the permission attach the permissions to a particular group for the particular user. So we can attach the policy directly by the user, and there is a one button you can add users directly by over here. We can create an inline policy or all those policies from here. Why we need to create users for that? Look, we can create one group for the particular team. It could be anything like such as a particular development team can only have a read access to particular service such as a EC2. So EC2 or the IAM service or any DevOps members can have a permission to any DevOps engineer have a permission have a have a IAM admin account. So those permission are segregated by the policy. We don't have it is a like efficient way. You can create a group and attach the policy at the group level, and you can once you uh, like once you create one user for the particular team, you can directly assign to a particular group that which already created, and it will automatically inherit the policies from the group itself. So we can look over here. We can once we go on the admin itself, so it will shows it can inherit administrative rights from the group itself. So group from the administrators group. So those things are we- those things are like a efficient way to manage user permissions and all those things. So that's all. Now let's look on the IAM policy. The IAM policy, which is assigned to a particular group, or which is assigned to a particular group or the user itself. It is a document called a JSON. It is document which is written on the JSON format, and it will look like this, and it has the several sections. On the sections, we can the permission will segregate it, such as the which IAM user, the which organization it will, which resources will it will affect or all those things. So it is a policy. There are several actions or there are several stages on the JSON format that already you can create from the virtual editor from the uh, we can check on the rules section itself. We can create more custom policies and all those things from the visual aspects also, and we can if you have that knowledgeable, we if we are that knowledgeable, we can create our own JSON permissions by we can by writing. So there are several actions such as principles, which account it throughout the which account it will work. Action, which action will perform, such as access the resource or list user, get user, all those things. Resources, which AWS resources, which particular ARN or Amazon resource name it will affect. The conditions, like there are some conditions we can set on the uh, policy document. If we if we if we attach a particular if we made some mistake on the JSON document, if we written in by hand, so might we are assigning a like any we can make any issues for we can create any issues for us. So as I have said previously, the users can be part of a multiple groups, such as developers, Alice, Bob, and Charles are part of a developers group, and the operations group, David and Edward, are part of a separate group. And the Fred, it is inline. It is connected with the inline policy. So I can show you to you how you can create an inline policy. You can attach basically you can attach a policy directly to the user, not with the groups or not. It will not inherited by somewhere. It will directly attach to the user. So and the audit team, the Charles and David also part of audit team, and it was also part of their independent groups. So with this IAM policies and the groups itself, we can attach policies to particular groups, and it will segregate the permissions depending upon that. So let me show it to you. We have created the group for the administrators. Let me create a group for the developers. Let's call it the DevOps. Uh, extra O's. Yeah, we have added the created go group. We can, is there any, there is one DevOps service, I guess. Yeah. The DevOps Guru. What this service do? It is a full access service. Okay, no issue. Let's create one group. Space issue. Yeah. Let's create one group. Group has been created. There is no users on the group currently. Let me create one user, and dev as per the image we can create a user. So developers Alice, sorry, Bob. We are creating account for the Bob. We can provide access to the DevOps group, and it will inherit some properties from the DevOps group. So Bob will have access, which is AWS code guru, and it will managed by the it will inherited by the DevOps group. So that's how you can create two groups. So we have created the two users now. So let's look how the JSON documents that we can look. So on the the administrative rights, policies which are created, it is it is contained at one JSON document where the uh, services are mentioned, such as there are 405 services which are available on the AWS right now, and it have a full access to all those services. It will the number will vary between the AWS services day by day, but look, it has a full access. It can allow actions, all the actions it will perform, and the resources, all the AWS resources. So let's look on the policies. We can that look let's look on the one AWS policy, which is app stream service something. So we entities, like we are assigning this JSON document directly to the user and all those things. But let's look on the latest version. It is a quite complicated policy. It is have versions, a statement, effect, and all. It will allow particular service. It is a total JSON document that we can create for the particular permission for particular operation. There are there are hundreds of predefined policies available on the AWS to assign to a particular service, and like get the benefit of it. Let's create one for IAM account itself for the IAM service action list user and get user. We are attaching get user. Yeah, those two permissions which are we are allowing. All the permissions. Okay, click on next. We attaching the policy test one. You can name whatever you want. We have created one policy which name as a test one. So let's go on the users admin hyphen v2 and we can attach the policy permission from here. So let's go on test one. We have attaching this policy directly to the user. So it have only access, the admin account have only access to get the users, get the user details. So it has only access to those details, get user, get roles and all those things. It haven't permission of even accessing the roles. So it has only access to access the dashboard or create alias or something. I don't think the alias will alias will be able to create from this permission itself. So let's try to AWS create alias. Yeah, we don't have authorized, we don't have permission to access this. Okay, it doesn't have access to perform this action. So we have seen users, the groups, and the policies also. So let me revert this permission, add the users to the administrative groups. We are performing different actions now. So adding a user to administrative groups, it will have the administrative rights. Let me go an user and remove that the temporary right we have added. So let me remove. Click on remove policy. It has administrative rights. Now it can access multiple good things such as it able to access this. Okay, we got the permissions. So how this is how you can add the permissions and add particular users and the groups. Let's check how you can attach an inline policy. It is very simple. Let's go and create policy, particularly for this service EC2 and the actions we need to perform. And we need to add EC2 describe. Uh, wait, there is option for EC2. Uh, describe EC2 will list describe addresses. Describe EC2 will shows the list of EC2 instances which is running. We can attach those policies which particularly we need. We need to attach a resource name and we need to create a next and the inline policy will automatically attach to the user. Such as we have added the administrator policy. It is that simple. So let's look the password policy because we are creating multiple accounts and for we haven't like any set any password policy for the user for the organization security itself we need to create one password policy to account which let's go on the account security with the password policy we are creating the IAM default. There are like by default policy created by the IAM default, and can create one custom. So we can set over here how we need a 16 character long password. We need an alphabet, or we need one at least number. We need to provide any specific character itself. The password expiration is off. The automatic password expiration will be there. User can allow the you can also allow to change their password or only administrator will reset their password. So uh, all those things are mentioned over here. So we can create a one custom policy which is like custom policy for the password itself only. So those things those things we are able to create uh, multi-factor authentication for the IAM users. We can provide additional security to allow MFA to a particular user. It could be a physical hardware that we are providing to the user or any authenticator app that we are using. That we can go on and next the QR code which we are using and the once we once we add the MFA it will we can able to access we can able to sign in with the IAM account able to sign in with the with the MFA security. So those things we able to add over here. So we can see the multi-factor authentication is zero. Yeah, I have not added because this is a admin account. This is a root account you can say, but you need to add the IAM. You need to add the MFA for the root account itself. It is very simple. We can look next time. So there are two to three ways you can You can allow permission to the user, allow access to the users. First one is Amazon CLI, which is which is you are providing one like access key, and it will access the it will access the resources by the CLI itself. So let me assign one not the MFA, sorry. Let's create an access key, the command line interface that we are creating. I understand, and it will create one access key for us. So this access key will we are copying over here. So I have one application which is AWS configure. So AWS configure the path the we can copy the access ID from here. The access ID, the secret access ID. Once we've done that, the default region I need, and the default format is the JSON. I have configured my AWS account with the AWS CLI. So let's check. I am able to access a S3 uh, S3 buckets or not. I can list the S3 buckets, existing S3 buckets. So by this command, I am not getting any output because of it. I don't have any S3. This is how you can create access keys and all those things. Let me remove it from here because some of uh, this is a very private key, so you don't need to share with anyone. You need to keep with it. We delete this one. Yeah, we have deleted from here. So on the AWS need to perform actions on the behalf of the user. So AWS roles will assign a permission to those particular services to do the specific call to a particular service, a specific service to the AWS itself. So there are some common roles which are provided by the user. Uh, the common roles which are we can allow the AWS instance roles. The AWS instance will we can assign the role particular instance to access of a specific resource, such as throughout the EC2 instances, we can access the S3 bucket. By default, without the role, we're not able to access. We can, such as Lambda function roles. Throughout the Lambda functions, we can call particular services such as SQS or SNS topics throughout the Lambda function itself. If there are some issues with the like any application or something, it will generate a lambda. The lambda function will automatically generate a issue, and it will send by the SNS and SQS. Those things are automatically called with the AWS roles. So we need to create role for it. So we are creating a role for the EC2. Uh, let's try to create for the no. We have action option for the EC2. Yeah, the allow EC2 instances to call other services on your behalf. So let's go on permission. We can allow permissions to here EC2, providing a full access to EC2. Like we can provide like end service such as S3 Amazon S3 full access. So let's go on next. Look, we have a JSON documents. Every time we can create a new role or new policies, it will assign a one JSON document. So it has a service which is Amazon EC2 Amazon dot here, and let's create a resource name. Let's name as a test one. We create a role. The role has been created. EC2 is test one. So the EC2 it has a I guess yeah, it has an instance profile name as a EC2. You test one too. The instance profile will kept in the root level, and once we have a kept in the root level, and on the inside the EC2 instance profile, there is one roles policy. So you got it right. Let's create one EC2 instances name as a test. We can select the many IAM we want. Keep it with we select the default options or default options. On the here itself, IAM policy profile. So we able to get the instance role which we have created over here. So previously we have created the let's wait. Yeah. I'm still using the root account somehow. Yeah, we have created the test two, test one two. So the instance profile which we have created in the this one. So throughout this, we can allow the EC2 instances to get full access of S3. So if we created one script and we need to allow this EC2 instances will call to S3 S3 commands, or it can able to communicate with the S3 buckets and all those things. So throughout this, we can create a role on the IAM section and allow permissions to a specific service to a specific service itself. So this is how the role works. So we have a multiple options on the IAM itself. We can there is one another good option which I am using for my organization's EC2 IAM account, which is Access Advisor. So Access Advisor will you will get idea, you will get you will get a summarized report. So how the services which are used by the admin account. So there are multiple accounts in my organization, and there are I can able to get the we can I can get the list I can get the information which services mostly used by this user. So I can provide I can provide the list level of permissions to the user itself. So look, I have accessed the S3 today, I have accessed the IAM analyzer, or all those things I have accessed. But on the third slide, I haven't accessed anything as such. So those are some additional permissions that are not required or not used by not used by the EC2 this admin account. So I can removing it, right? So there is one good practice on the AWS. So you can remove the unwanted permissions from the user, and keep limited permissions, keep least permissions to the user. So those things are managed. Those things are find out by the access advisor, and it will you will get a those kind of a report on the access advisor, the how services are used by the AWS this particular user. And there is one option for the credential report. It is required for the password policy which I have created. If we not implemented a password policy, so you can get idea about it. So for the compliance and reporting purposes, you can get details from here, such as the root account, the password is not supported, uh, when the account is created, all those things, all the access IDs and all those MFA active or not, the access keyword, those things are those things are mentioned on this report itself. Throughout this report, you can get information about the AWS user, and you can target a specific users to allow those particular things, such as the MFA is not active on the root account itself. So if you ever you know it, which root account which one is using this root account, so you can told them to allow set up MFA for this root account itself, because we are additioning extra layer to the security over here. So this is how you can create a credential reports from there. So the access analyzer, we can analyze the total access from here itself. It has a separate console, and the users itself, we can do those things. So this is all about the IAM sections we are looked today. So there are some good practices which is uh, like already defined by the AWS, such as don't use root account always. That sorry, I'm using it right now, but I mostly use the IAM account. I have told when you don't need to use the root account. Uh, well, the IAM access keys and passwords are never shared with the someone. You only once you set up a CLI or CDK keys that we have looked on the IMX particular program keys, we can say. So those are not shared by someone, isn't shared with the someone. Those are things. Activate MFA on every account with that you have that you are able to set on the user itself, on the when you are creating a password policy on that, on there also you can set the MFA. It's mandatory. So those are things are uh, required for the organization to use, and we can secure by this by the accounts with this providing extra layer of a security. We can look a quick summary of it, what we have learned today. So users are physical users have password and it can able to access to IAM console. So there are two ways we have looked. First, the IAM user can access the through the IAM console. Second one, throughout the, let me show it over here. Yeah. There is an option. Yeah. Throughout the command line interface, throughout the access keys which we have created, throughout the CLI itself, the user can access the EC2, the AWS environment and the SDK throughout the software development kit, throughout the API keys and all those things, or throughout any specific program or specific code itself. Throughout that code itself, we can provide the software development. Throughout this, we can allow specific program to connect with the AWS services itself. So those things are supported by the AWS to access specific resources. So at the beginning, we have an account. We haven't provided any specific permission or all those things. Might you are not feel it is important to allow a specific permission to the specific user. But when you are using a production servers and all those things, if someone made a little change or by mistakenly made a little change, it will affect the business and all those things. So make sure you need to set up a particular least privilege to a specific user, a least access to a specific group, or you can create a specific specific teams to access the specific services on the specific services and the resources. So those all about the IAM service which I have looked today. So on the next part, we are looking about the IAM AWS EC2 EC2 itself. Make sure you support this channel, and again, if you please request to you all, please make sure you subscribe to this channel. I will upload the videos on the on the weekly basis currently, but when I'm like on the few days, once I like settle down some things which are running behind, I can able to upload like a 2 3 videos on the week itself. So that's all for my side. Thank you very much for watching this video. Uh, at the end, you will you can if you watch this video till the end, you can easily able to access the IAM server. You can easily able to access the understand the overall IAM on all those things. So thank you very much. Yeah, bye.